Hey guys, welcome to a very special video today. Today we are going to read all books about theme parks and I'm going to rank them. I'm going to tell you if they're any good. Obviously I love theme parks, so we're going to read, got my little cheat sheet, we're going to read Hot Dog Girl, which I do own. We're going to read Holly Jolly Summer, which I've actually already started and it's not that bad. We're going to read The Kingdom, which is actually not realistic fiction or romance like most of the rest of these. It's like a sci-fi one.
I had to be funny, I'm sorry.
Dream Factory, which is realistic. Oh, and by the way, all these are young adult. The Fury, which is like a young adult horror novel set at a theme park where like everybody in the world like turns on these people and they have to survive at a theme park or something. And then Dreamland Social Club, which is also a realistic fiction. So most of these are realistic or romance. Oh, here's my baby. So I just wanted to intro it while we were here at Kentucky Kingdom and tell you that we're gonna read all these theme park books and we're gonna see if they're any good. I'm gonna come to you in just a minute and tell you what I think about them, but I thought what better place to tell you hello and that I'm reading books set at theme parks than while I'm at a theme park, because spoiler alert, I love theme parks. We got married at Cedar Point, so I'll come to you soon with just a sit down section, and then I have a very special outro clip that I'm gonna do for this video. Shoo, it was hot out there in that sun at Kentucky Kingdom. Now we're back inside. Okay, sorry, that was really cheesy. So here is the drink of the episode. It feels very theme parky. I don't know if you can see my shirt. Very theme park vibes here. And we have Pink Slush Alani. It is one of my new favorite energy drinks ever. I will say it gets. That's what the kids say nowadays, right? This gets. This is strong. It's very flavorful. Let's talk about these books. I've now read them all and I'm going to kind of rank them by giving you how they would fit into a theme park because that's kind of fun. So I'm going to start with the 3 DNFs. Let's start with that. Yes, out of the 6 of them, I DNF'd 3 of them. So, and then I'm going to tell you my findings, by the way. I have sort of what I've learned from this entire experience. But first we'll start with the kiddie ride. If I had to give an award to the kiddie ride out of these 6 books, it would be to Hot Dog Girl, which I DNF'd. I made it about a third or a fourth of the, well, no, a little more, well, a third is more than the fourth, Megan. Oh my gosh. A third of the way, or a little bit more through this book. It is very short. It is very fast paced, and needless to say, I will be taking this back to school to give away. It was a discarded book because we had multiple copies and we just didn't need them because it's not popular, and no wonder it's not popular. This thing was boring. Nothing was happening. It wasn't really centered around the theme park at all. Very few scenes were taking place at the theme park, so at least the other books that I didn't really care for either, at least they were like mostly set at the theme park. Like pretty much one of them was like primarily, like there were no other scenes other than the theme park. But this one was set in so many other places, and so therefore I just didn't care. And I would give it the kiddie ride book because it didn't feel very young adult. Like it almost felt more like a middle grade book, or like freshmen would read it, which another one of these did too, but I actually kind of liked the story, so it was okay. But this like felt like there were like no stakes, and yes, it's listed as romance, but it felt more like realistic fiction to me, which I just don't care about, especially because there was nothing really going on interesting at the theme park, and it was all just about the girl and her friends, and like that was it. And I just did not care about anything, so I do not recommend this one. Oh, and the author was Jennifer Dugan. I forgot to say the author's name. The next award I'm going to give would be to the ride that would be the carousel. If we had a carousel ride book at a theme park, from a theme park here, it would be Dreamland Social Club. And I DNF'd this one as well. I think I made it farther. I made it almost 50% through this one. The reason I give it the carousel ride is because it's like it's going in circles. Nothing was happening. And now this is not the book's fault. This is my fault for thinking it was more of a theme park book, where it really is more of a carnival book. Like they're calling them carnies and stuff in here. And I am not a carnival person. As much as I love theme parks, hate carnivals. Hate anything to do with carnivals, hate clowns, hate sideshow stuff. And that's what this is. It's like a collection of these people that all have, you know, some sort of almost like physical deformity or something like that, that they have been in these like sideshows and stuff. And that is just not for me. And of course, this one, out of all of the books I've read, this was the only one truly listed as realistic fiction and not romance. And this is the one I think I knew I was going to DNF. If I was going to DNF any of these, it would be this one, because realistic fiction is even worse than romance for me, because literally there's like nothing that I care about going on. There's like no stakes, no conflict hardly. It's just like it's like a slice of life kind of thing, and I just don't care. Okay, the next book I'm going to give it the Haunted House Award. I don't have a physical copy of this one, but the Haunted House Award would go to The Fury by Alexander Gordon Smith, and this book I also DNF'd. I made it quite far, but this is a very long book. Like, it was like over 500 pages for a young adult book. And I think it could have been a series if they were going to do that, but it really didn't need to be. It was way too long. It was so repetitive. If it had been shorter and cut down, I think I would have finished it. There was nothing wrong with the writing style. I actually kind of liked it. There was nothing wrong with the plot. I kind of liked it. It was just getting too long, honestly, before we were getting to the plot. I was, you know, gosh, 30, 40, about probably 35% of the way through the book. And they were still just, the main characters were all just now getting together running from zombies. It's a zombie book, right? Well, the people in the real world are like turning on the main characters and trying to like kill them, but they're not dead or anything. Like, they're not zombies. They're just like, they've suddenly turned evil. They've been like possessed by something. And I went ahead and read the spoiler for what happens at the end of this book. And I do think I actually would have liked where it went and the explanation for like why they were zombies and like what actually happens with it, because it sounds pretty cool. But I just wasn't getting anything. I wasn't getting a hint of them trying to figure out what was going on. It was more just like, let's all get together at this old abandoned theme park, and nothing was happening at the theme park. I was like, oh man, if there were zombies like climbing on a Ferris wheel, they were trying to escape from them. No, it wasn't that either. It was just, hey, let's all just get together. And I did like that there were a lot of different characters. Like, there was an older character who had been bullied and he was kind of like jaded now. And then there was the like popular jock kid at school. And then there was like this 12-year-old, much younger girl. None of them know each other, but they have to kind of come together. And I really liked that. I don't know, I like the different ages. I liked the characters. I really wish I could have finished this book, honestly, because I was enjoying it. And I really do think I would have liked where the plot went. It was just too long and too slow moving. Next award I'm going to give is to the Ferris wheel book. If I had to give a book to a Ferris wheel, I feel like a Ferris wheel is a generic ride that you're going to see at every single park. It's nothing exciting. You know, a park's got to have it. It's just there. Some people think it's fun. It's kind of a family ride, but once you ride it, you're never going to think about it again. You're not going to be like, man, I love that Ferris wheel at that park. No, it's not like a roller coaster that you're going to look forward to riding every time you go or something. It's just there. So I'm going to give that award to The Kingdom. Sorry, I had to look up the author, by Jess Rothenberg. This book was a sci-fi. It is set at basically a futuristic Disney world where, you know, there are these like robots. The main character is a robot. She is very human-like though, and she does sort of develop some feelings. It very much reminded me of Westworld, but for teenagers. I would say I saw a critique on Goodreads from somebody I follow on YouTube, Holly from Holly Hearts Books, which I love her channel. Hi Holly, if you ever watch this. She said that this book didn't really like show you the theme park. Like, she couldn't get an idea in her mind of really what the park looked like or the layout of it. And I totally agree. It was just sort of like these generic descriptions here and there. I did continue it because I kind of liked, I did finish it. I liked the timeline aspect because it was sort of a murder mystery, but it would jump back, like it was in the present tense, in the present, where there was a trial going on. This robot, she's literally on trial for this murder, and it kind of goes back to the past to show you what happened at the theme park, and you have to piece it together, and then there's kind of like a twist, and I did like the ending, so I'm glad I did finish it, but I don't know if I'd recommend it. I wound up giving it 2.5 stars because I did struggle to get through it. It was just fine. It really was like a Ferris wheel. It's there, you ride it, and then you forget it. The next award, we have two left. I'm going to give the Log Flume Award to a book that I feel like it had its exciting moments, for sure. There were parts I really, really liked, and then the rest of it, you just kind of float along like through a little river, and that's what a log flume is, I feel like. So this book would be Dream Factory by two different authors, Brad Barkley and Heather Hepler. Or is it Kepler? Hepler? I think it's Hepler. Anyway, this book was set at Disney World, whereas the rest of them are set at parks maybe like Disney World. This one was truly set at Disney World. So I loved all the Disney World references, and I loved that the entire book pretty much takes place at Disney World. Almost every scene is there. This book did take me a long time to get through. Maybe if I had read it in a shorter amount of time, it would have been better. But it's a romance, so we all know how I feel about that. It was fine. It did have its good moments. I really, really liked the writing. That's my favorite part of this book. I thought the writing was really clever. There would be jokes or just like the way that they would word stuff. I don't know who was writing. I guess he was writing the boy character point of view, because it does switch back between the boy and the girl point of view. And I guess she was writing the girl's point of view. I feel like I like the girl's point of view a little bit bit better, like the writing style. But I thought that the jokes were clever. The writing was top notch. It's the reason I actually continued reading the book. And also the fact it was set at Disney World. So it had some things going for it. The things I didn't like were the plot or the characters. Didn't care about, what was happening, or the people or anything like that. Overall, it was still a decently fun time, and I wound up giving this one 3 stars. At least I made it through it. And finally, the book I cannot believe that I gave the highest rating to. It was still only a 3.5 star, so don't get too excited. But I'm giving this one the Roller Coaster Ride Award because it was, the best of the bunch, which a roller coaster is the best of the bunch. I read it first, and I always ride roller coasters, first thing. That's going to be the first ride I run to. And this was the first book I read. And it had its ups and downs. I was on the edge of my seat a couple times in this book. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And that is Holly Jolly Summer by Tiffany Stewart. It says 4 huge disasters, 3 months of tourists, 2 gorgeous boys, and a partridge in a palm tree. I don't know, something about it was so much fun. It reminded me of Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, because it's Christmassy themed. But this is, I kind of like that. But it's in Kentucky, set in Kentucky, which is where I live, in a fictional place called Christmas, Kentucky. And there's this snow globe display that the main character breaks, and then she has to try to make up for it. And she winds up working at this rundown theme park. But there's a lot of stakes on the line. The theme park might be closed for this expansion of their town, and her dad meets this new woman that he might be getting together with, and she doesn't like that. Then there's this old boyfriend that's moving away that she still kind of likes, but she doesn't know if they're gonna, their relationship's a little rocky now that he's gone. There's this new guy at the park. Well, not really new. She's known him from before. And there's quick kind of some wacky friends that she meets there. So there's a lot going on in this little teeny tiny book. And I just thought that it was really, really well done. Honestly, this is written a little kind of juvenile-y. Is that a word? I don't know. We're gonna make it a word. But middle school, I think, would enjoy this. 9th graders would enjoy this. It's also very short, very fast paced. But this was my most fun book of all the bunch, and it's the one that I would recommend. Just for fun, I also read a little bit of theme park design. I don't remember if I told you I was going to read this, but my husband had bought me this textbook. It's a straight up textbook. It was very expensive. I think it was $60 on eBay, used. So, it's a straight up textbook. It has everything you could ever want about how to design a theme park. And it is so much fun. If you remotely like theme parks at all, you should invest in this because it's almost like a coffee table book, and you can just pick it up and read it anytime, any place, anywhere. You can just open it to a page and find something interesting, and you don't have to read it all in order. And I think that is so much fun. So what have we learned out of this? Well, we have learned that the characters in all of these books are teenagers, of course, because they're young adults. So I need somebody give me some recommendations for adult books set at theme parks. I know there's a book called Hide. Let me know some other ones because I might do this again next year, but with young or with adult books. Also, I've learned that there's always a dead or missing parent. It's just how it is in these books. I don't know why. There has to be some sort of conflict, I guess, with the parents, and that's what it always is. I've also learned that the conflict is usually something about the theme park being shut down. It's being threatened to shut down. It might shut down because it's evil. It might shut down because it's because it's run down and they need to fix it up. That's always the plot. It's also always a standalone. Wonder if we could ever get a series set at a theme park. Oh, we do, the Kingdom Keeper series, the Disney After Dark or whatever. Is that the first one? Yeah, Kingdom Keepers. That's more like a middle school level book, but they're set at Disney World, and that is a series, so I take that back. There can be series. And I think my overall biggest takeaway is do not read 6 theme park books in a row. You will get burnt out and you just don't care anymore. The novelty does wear off. I wish I had not done that reading them back to back, but I wanted to do it for this vlog. So I do recommend reading some of them, obviously, but reading them separately, with some time in between. Also, I think reading them right before summer starts was really fun because this way it really gets you into the summer spirit before summer even starts. So that's the time of year I think would be best, or maybe even the winter time, just so you can get a taste of summer. And I had a very special outro for this clip, but I have to tell you what happened. So we were at Disney World. The outro, spoiler alert, I was going to film the outro while we were at Disney World, and I did. But I was so tired and it was so hot. It was 100 degrees. We were at Magic Kingdom and we were getting ready to leave. And I filmed it with my camera facing the wrong way. Yeah. Instead of holding my phone with me in the picture and the castle behind me at Magic Kingdom, I filmed it where all you can see is the crowd and you can barely hear me talking. And then the next day was our last day, and I noticed it. I noticed that I did it wrong, thank goodness. And I said, okay, well, the next day we're going to be at Animal Kingdom, so before we leave, I will film it one more time. I'll just film it at Animal Kingdom, and that way I'll have the footage. I forgot. I didn't do it. So all I have is me facing the crowd at Magic Kingdom, and you can barely hear me in the background talking about the outro of my theme park reading vlog. So I'll just insert that here because it's kind of funny, but I don't know if you can even hear it. So I'm going to do it anyway because it was at a theme park. So thank you guys so much for watching this very random video. Let me know if you like any of these books, if you've read any of these books, if you will read any of these books, or if you have any suggestions for me for other books set at theme parks. This vlog took a long time to make. It took me like a month or more to read all these books, so hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys again soon. Here's my weird little outro. Bye! Welcome to a very special outro of this vlog. I told you that I would be so more special when I did the outro clip. Sorry, I'm using my face for my We're at So I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I wanted to film a longer outro clip, but it is so hot and I'm still in the I can't hold it straight. And all I want to do is decide. It's been like 95 degrees and it's like 100 and something. I'm drained. It's still like hot, even though it's like 8 o'clock. So I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this vlog. Hopefully it's very entertaining as we learn about theme parks. Theme parks. I think my big takeaway is theme park books are good. I did.